Hi, I'm Sara.
I'm Ross.
And we are the Bachelor experts of the Upper East Side.
No longer on SoundCloud. We've moved
right.
our platform over to YouTube, so it's a video podcast now.
Yes, you get to see our lovely faces. But we are so excited about Colton's season of The Bachelor. So let's jump right in. So to set the stage a bit, Colton had 3 hours to shine.
Pretty long.
Yeah, but not as long as some other seasons where they start with 2 or 3 hours for 2 nights. So 3 hours of Colton, and we really got to know him, maybe.
However, the first hour was devoted to just a watch party. Multiple watch
parties. We had Caitlin and JoJo.
In Dallas.
Jason and Blake.
In the middle of nowhere.
And Crystal and Chris.
Goose, babe. Goose.
I refuse to call him Goose. I will never call him that. Chris and Crystal.
Sure, but they were in the hot tub in the parking lot.
That was just weird.
Come on, like ABC, that is not what we're here for. They're not here for the right reasons. We are trying to be, but terrible.
Yeah, I mean they're both less annoying than they were in the season. I kind of like them now, but still, I didn't care that they were in a hot tub in the parking lot.
Sure, but so these watch parties, something that kept coming up was their crowd engagement. People getting engaged, with some cute, sad, whatever story you want to call it, about about their relationship with the show and that they now are marrying someone because of it.
I just don't care. I mean, babe, did you propose to me after The Bachelor?
I did not.
Thank you.
In no part was our engagement surrounded by The Bachelor.
Thank you. As much as I love The Bachelor, I really appreciate that. But here's a live look of us throughout the first hour of The Bachelor. Just did not care. A lot of wine consumed, and
a lot of drawn outness, pretty much. It was 50
gosh.
minutes until we actually saw anything of substance.
Yeah, it was rough. But then came back with a bang with a video montage of the only person I really consistently care about, Chris Harrison, and we had such a nice montage of him as a younger Chris. And here's my favorite picture I found of him.
Sure, this was from season 1.
From season 1. Like, this is hilarious. This reminds me of, like, when we had to get our church directory photos and, like, my family. But, like, what is this? I love it. And if anything, we learned that Chris Harrison will look young forever because his mother looked so young. So finally, after 50-ish long minutes, we finally get an intro of Colton, which is essentially just a montage of him shirtless in many different places.
Oh my god. They're going to lose me real quickly if it's a lot of Colton shirtless, and I would imagine a lot of men out there too.
I know. I'm sorry. But the best part of this is his ridiculous quote of, "I never expected to be the Bachelor."
Yeah, come on, Colton. Is anyone really believing that you didn't expect to? That was your goal from day one, and we all know.
Yeah, we could see right through you from day one. Ridiculous, but... Yeah.
But we did learn a little bit more about Colton and his backstory, such as he went to a Christian elementary school. He described himself as a chubby fat kid growing up.
Which I didn't see coming.
I didn't either. And then
adorable.
Then he sought out football as his an escape for confidence, etc.
Yes.
And he made it to the NFL.
Which...
Period.
Period.
He made it to the NFL.
Yes, so this answers our question of last week of, does he have to explain to anybody or these girls that he didn't really make it past the practice squad?
True. And this whole montage to us, thinking a little bit deeper than just what's shown, what's next, Colton?
Yeah, if you really think about this, literally what is it? Hi, so I played football, I played in the NFL, I never made it
I was a chubby kid.
I was a chubby kid. Oh, so what are you doing now? Well, I'm the Bachelor now. I don't need a job.
Exactly. I would love, to hear a real conversation between Colton and a prospective father-in-law, and the father-in-law asks, "Hey, how are you going to provide for my daughter?" And he says, "I'm going to sell things on Instagram." I don't know.
I think we're seeing some real insight into Ross's conversation with my dad.
Maybe.
But yeah, no job to speak of.
Exactly. So, I hope to maybe get a little substance there in terms of what's Colton planning to do next.
Right, we'll see.
Because right as of now, it's nothing.
I don't have high hopes. So after Colton's intro, we get some intro from some girls, and then the limo entrances. And needless to say, there were some ridiculous occurrences, as there always are.
Absolutely crazy. Every season that I've watched, which is now 2 years worth, it just seems to get crazy.
I think it's more now. It might be up to 4.
Could be. Could be. Who knows?
Either way. First one, not so, like, outlandish, but still, Miss North Carolina wears her Miss USA, Miss North Carolina sash the entire day. Oh, which says Miss Underwood.
Oh, my gosh.
Literally? So it's not even like, I mean, is she competing to be his sister?
Or daughter?
It's just bizarre. And she keeps it on the entire night.
Yeah. Then we also have Sloth Girl. There's always a costume nowadays.
This one, if she was just auditioning to basically be an actress, I guess she wins because she really committed. It was painful.
It was.
Really painful.
Then we have the Cinderella, self-proclaimed Cinderella, says, I want to bring a horse and carriage, and you got it.
I'm just over these fake jobs. Like, they're not funny, and they're just bizarre. I mean, I guess I get the whole, like, find my shoe.
Yeah, it gets her screen time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. We had the girl with the Australian accent, the fake one, is very trumped up in the previews.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Still ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny for a second, but they spent too much time on it.
Yeah, and we didn't even see if she actually owned up to it.
Right.
I don't know.
And then, what's her toes? Catherine with that dog. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's actually a new low in terms of, hey, my name's Catherine, take care of my dog.
Also, like, is that allowed?
Definitely not.
Just like, did she clear this with somebody beforehand? Or?
Yeah, like Colton is not flying with this dog to Bora Bora and Norway, wherever else they're gonna go. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, Catherine. Find a dog sitter.
Yeah. Also, I don't know.
Or a friend.
For Colton. Yeah.
And then also in the girl intros, we had a great line, fabulous, coming out of Demi, saying my mom had to go to prison.
It was just the way she phrased it, too. It just sounded so passive, like, as if, like, oh, my mom unfortunately tripped on the side of the road. Like, oh, my mom fell into prison.
Yeah, or like, oh, my mom couldn't be here today. She had to go to night classes for college. It's like, oh, like an obligation. She did embezzlement.
But kudos to her because it really did seem like it was just an accident.
That's true. So all in all, lots of ridiculous things all night.
Yeah, but fantastic.
But the real talking point of this entire show was Colton's virginity.
Oh my gosh. They just would not shut up about it.
No, from the Chris Harrison comments to the limo introductions.
So many limo introductions. I mean, that is just a very awkward first line. Do you think that that's going to make a guy attracted to you?
Yeah, imagine meeting someone first time, knowing they're a virgin and saying, hey, you're a virgin?
Yeah, or if it was the opposite. Hey, I've heard you had sex with 200 girls. Like, is that a good pickup line? No?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But it was so much so that Colton actually tweeted that night, I know the virginity thing is overplayed. Hang in there. You will find out other things about me. I promise.
Will we?
Yeah. Colton, do you know the editing room? So next up, we have the cocktail party.
True.
Happens every week.
Yes. And I actually have to give credit where credit is due here. I've been saying a lot about how Colton seems one-dimensional, but he really came through when they finally let him actually talk. He, compared to all the other bachelors, actually seems like he is flirting in a normal way, connecting with these girls. And I actually really liked him a lot more than I've liked the other bachelors during the cocktail parties. And I'm really excited now to watch the rest of the season.
That's true. But also, how about that first speech that he gave to all the girls?
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty lame.
Oh, my gosh. The one thing I cannot stand about Becca's whole thing is her always saying, all I've asked for is openness and honesty. And then somehow, of all the things he could have taken from Becca's character, it's that.
Oh my gosh, I know. He must have really been a sucker for it because he opens up the speech saying, all I want you girls to do is to be open and honest, and I'll give the same to you.
I literally, if they're going to do this all season, I can't. This better be the one and only time he mentions it.
Exactly. But anyway, lots of other things happen all throughout the night. A little bit of tension between our Miss Alabama and Miss North Carolina.
It was so funny. It was fake nice to the max.
It was.
Especially like Alabama and North Carolina, two southern states where they act very nice even if they don't like you.
Yes,
absolutely. It was very apparent, and I'm excited to see what might unfold.
Sure, if I don't get a bless your soul, I'm just waiting for that.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. It's bound to happen.
Yeah. So then also lots of other tricks and things that get brought up. Something notable was Sydney, the quartet dancing routine that she did with Colton.
Interesting story, everyone. If you're wondering, Sydney does not travel in limos in her usual form of transportation because I no lie, ended up in an Uber pool with her on Monday night on the way to the premiere of The Bachelor.
Amazing. Right here in New York City. But the real talking point throughout the cocktail party was Catherine. This season's villain, whatever you want to call her. The one that all the girls are going to gang up on, and she's going to fight against all the girls.
Yeah.
So she was stealing girls throughout the night. I mean, at some point, like, you got to let it go. It's just, it's the name of the game.
Oh.
For all the girls.
You think it's fine?
I do. It's night one. You have to get time. You have to get yourself out there and make a name for yourself.
Okay, I would agree, except in this, like, era of The Bachelor, it's clearly not just all about finding Colton. They've got to set themselves up for after, and the way to do that, it seems, from, after Instagram, post-Instagram Bachelor, is that you have to make friends with the most girls possible in order to sell your sugar bear hair gummies afterwards.
Maybe, but...
I just don't think she's setting herself up well, because I don't think she's going to end up with Colton, and I don't think she's going to end up with friends, which translates to not many followers on Instagram.
Maybe you're right.
But then again, we had Corinne, who did
it.
But Corinne's way more likable.
And I mean, I have to think, so now the bar, I think she stole Colton 4 times.
That's a record. That was so aggressive.
But that's also the new bar. Now someone's going to have to come back and do 5. It will happen.
The rose ceremony!
Ooh. Yeah. Pretty lame at this point. We don't know anyone that well enough, so...
Nobody ever really cares about the rose ceremony night 1.
Exactly. I think 6 girls got sent home.
I always feel really bad when they spend a lot of time showing one girl, and then she gets sent home. It's very sad.
I don't know enough to care.
Anyway, here's the girls. The rose over their faces. That's who gets sent home.
Yeah, only 6 out of 30 years, so...
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal.
Cinderella was one of them.
Yep, Sloth Girl.
Never got her slipper back. Oh, Sloth Girl. Yeah, Colton was probably just waiting for the moment he gets sent her home.
Yeah, and then a few others who cried a little bit.
Yeah,
Not very noteworthy.
I always feel bad. Ross doesn't.
Not yet.
So we've already taken up a lot of your life with this podcast.
Sorry.
So rather than playing a new game this week, we'll just review our results from last week, from our bets. And the first was the football-related limo entrances. I had guessed 5. Ross guessed 8. There were only 2, which I was shocked by.
Yeah.
But also happy about, because that makes me the winner.
True. She got 1 point.
I did. And then next, mentions of Colton's virginity. Ross guessed 25. Mm-hmm. I guess 15.
To be fair, this was total conversations of Colton's virginity. It was not just mentions of the word virginity, which would have been astronomically higher.
True. But thank gosh that we split the difference and that it was not 25, because that would have been just unbearable. It was 20.
True.
We tied. And finally, mentions of Tia. Ross had guessed 13. I guessed 6. It was 2. And that was a stretch.
Only 2.
Honestly, it was a stretch. Making me the winner. Yay!
Oh, well. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So it's okay that she can win The Bachelor. That'd be pretty weird if I was winning this game.
True. But back to that fact that there were only 2 mentions of Tia the entire episode.
Yeah.
That was unreal. Like, he had way more of a connection with her than he did with Becca.
He did. He dated Tia before Becca.
True.
Dated Tia after Becca.
Yes. And they acted like she didn't even exist. Like, what is going on there? Something weird is going on. Mark my words. I don't know if we'll ever figure it out, but some kind of NDA or something.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Tia's dating Chris Harrison.
No, I think she has a different boyfriend now.
Whatever.
Whatever. It was weird. So not that you really care, but in case you're playing Bachelor Fantasy League and want to follow along with us.
On abc.com.
Yes. /BFL. I had 135 points for the week.
And I had 140. Watch yourself.
So annoying. But yeah, let us know if you're beating us. And in terms of drinking game, last week, if you recall, it was to finish your drink if they mentioned anything other than Colton's virginity, physical appearance, or football, whatever. So
we're opening up this week, hopefully to have a little bit more alcohol consumption.
Yeah. Drink if he is shirtless. So you should get a few glasses done.
Yes.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Have fun. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of The Bachelor Experts of the Upper East Side. Us. And listen to us next week. And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And share with all your friends.
Yeah.
We need lots of friends.
We need friends really bad. So if you can't tell, this is what we do with our free time. So yeah, we will see you guys next week.